Hey everyone, this is a video for lesson 1.3. So start out by taking out your note-taking guide. Go ahead and hit pause, go grab that. As we go here, you're going to see that I already have some writing down. I was doing the recording and then right at the end my internet went out and it did not record. So anyways, let's go through 1.3. It's on variables and expressions. Variables, a lot of people get turned off right away with having letters in math problems, but it's just a way to have to show that a number can change and then use the same formula and just change one thing, and that's where a formula goes in. So let's take a look at this first example. It says you are taking a bike trip. After riding 8 miles, you change your speed to 12 miles per hour. What is the total distance you travel if you stay at this speed for 2 hours or for 3 hours? So it says let t represent the time in hours that you ride at 12 miles per hour. So the total distance you travel is the original distance, so in this case 8 miles, so that distance is given, plus your speed times time. That's how you figure out distance, speed times time. So if you're going 12 miles an hour and you only went 1 hour, that'd be 12 miles. Okay, so they write 8 because that's the distance already traveled plus 12 times t. Because if you take 12 times however many hours, then you'll figure out that distance and add it to the 8. So they here, if you went 2 hours, they put 8 plus 12 times 2. Order operation says 12 times 2 is the 24. Okay, and then you do 8 plus 24 gives you 32. Same thing here. If it's 30 or if it's 3 hours, you take the 8 stays. You take the 12 times 3 because you put 3 in for t. That's 36. And 8 plus 36 is 44. Okay. The questions down below, they just gave you two other instances. If you travel 4 hours, so you put 4 in for t, and then order operations say you have to go 12 times 4 first, that's 48. And you go 8 plus 48 equals 56. If you travel 1.5 hours, what is the total distance? So right away people see a fraction and they freak out. In this case, it's easy to change it to a decimal. A lot of you probably just know what the decimal is. If ever you have a fraction and you don't know the decimal, a fraction is just division. So you take 1 divided by 2, that gives you 0.5. And since this was 1.5, it's 1.5. So order operations, take 12 times 1.5, that's 18, plus the original 8, gives you 26 miles. Okay. Turn the page in the note-taking guide. Just more problems on evaluating variable expressions. So the key here says evaluate the expression when x is 6 and y is 3. Just remember to always put the correct number in for the correct letter. So letter A only has the x, 9x minus 14. When a number is next to a letter, that means multiplication. So you put 6 in for x, so it means 9 times 6, which is 54. 54 minus 14 gives you the 40. Letter B, 4x plus 7y. So 4x, x is 6, and 7y, y is 3. So you put those numbers in. Order operations say you have to do the multiplication before the addition. So now they do 2 steps at once here. They go 4 times 6 is 24. They can't do adding yet, so they put down the plus, and then they go 7 times 3 is 21. And they go 24 plus 21 is 45. Okay. Writing expressions, so either from just a straight sentence or using a word problem. Here's some key words that let you know what operation you should be doing. So these words usually mean addition, these subtraction, multiplication, division. I added one here. The word split usually means division. Like if you're going to a restaurant, you're going to split the check. You're going to divide that. So translating verbal phrases. the sum of 8 and a number, sum means addition. And then 8 and a number. When they give you a phrase like and a number, that's when you use a variable. They're using n a lot. A lot of times they'll use x, but it can be anything. So 8 and a number is 8 plus n. The difference of 24 and a number, that's subtraction, minus n. Okay, most of the time you're going to go in order of what they give you. So 24 and a number, when they say difference, is 24 minus n. There's two cases where, actually three, these three, fewer than, less than, or subtracted from. So I did a little example up here. If they said 4 less than a number, so just think if they said 4 less than 20, that would mean you take 20 minus 4. So 4 less than a number means n minus 4. You switch the order. Same thing if it said 4 fewer than a number or 4 subtracted from a number. Then you switch the order. Back down here, the product of 5 and a number. Product means multiplication. Generally in algebra, they just write the number next to the letter like this. You could do 5 and then a dot and n. The quotient of 35 in a number. Quotient is one of the words for division up here. So 35 in a number, generally in algebra, they're going to write it as a fraction. This would be correct. This is also 35 divided by n. 2/3 of a number. Okay. When a lot of times when there's like a fraction or a decimal and it says of a number or a percent, that means multiplication. So 2/3 of a number means 2/3 times n. Okay. So did some examples up here. The evaluate the expression. When a is 14, b is 4. So when a is 14, put 14 in for a. 7 times 14 is 98. This would be a good example if you're going to be doing the practice workbook for extra credit. I need, even though you can type this in your calculator, I need to see the work that you're doing. Okay, that's how I can give you extra credit. Okay, because the answers are right in the back in the practice workbook. So that's, you can't just write down answers. Number 4, b times a. b is 4, a is 14. 4 times 14 is 56. Number 5, b times the group of a plus 6. So b is 4, a is 14. Order operations say do the parentheses first. 14 plus 6 is 20. And 4 times 20 is 80. Again, if you're doing the extra credit work, you need to show one of these steps. Okay. Number 6, you got a fraction, so you do the top and bottom separately. You get 5 times a is 5 times 14, which is 70. Bottom, a minus b, which is 14 minus 4, which is 10. Now we take 70 divided by 10, gives you 7. Okay. Number 7 and 8, just writing an expression. So a number decreased by 16, decreased by is a subtraction. So x minus 16. 8, 72 divided by a number. So generally in algebra, they write it as a fraction like this. This would also be correct. Okay. All right, last problem in the note-taking guide. Let's take a look here. It says your school's fundraising committee is making team banners. The committee can make n banners in 15 minutes. It says multiply by 4 to find out the number of banners the committee can make per hour. Okay, that's because 15 times 4 is 60, so that would give you 60 minutes. So anything you can do in 15 minutes, if you do it by 4, if you can keep up the same rate, would give you how many in an hour. So letter A says use n to write an expression for the number of banners the committee can make per hour. B, the committee makes 9 banners in 15 minutes. Find the number of banners the committee makes per hour. So letter A, it says multiply by 4 to find the number in an hour. So right here, 4n would give you the expression. If n is the number they can do in 15 minutes, you would just take 10 or n times 4, and that would give you the number in an hour. Then B says they tell you they can make 9 banners in 15 minutes. So you plug 9 in for N. So 4 times N is 36. They make 36 in an hour. Okay. All right. So study guide, for the most part, is the same stuff. I think I'll walk through just one of their examples here just because it's more of a real life type thing. It says your uncle works at a factory. Let's see if this makes it a little bigger. Uncle works at a factory. He gets paid $8.75 an hour and 50 cents for each part he produces. It says 1 hour, your uncle produces 30 machine parts. How much does he earn? How much does he earn in an hour if he produces 50 parts? So the expression here, he gets $8.75 no matter what. Then plus 50 cents per part, which is 0.5 times P, or 0.50, that's the same thing, times the number of parts, which they use P. So for, if they did 30, you put 30 in for P. Order operation says you do 0.5 times 30 first, which is 15. So he gets $15 for that, plus his $8.75. He would get $23.75 for the hour. If you were able to make 50 parts in the hour, again, you would take 50 times 50 cents. It's $25. And then add on the $8.75 you get no matter what. You get $33.75. Okay. So again, here, if you are able to do all the problems in the study guide here, I think you're good for the test. So if you go through and try these problems, I think you'll be good. So that would be what I would suggest for the minimum amount, is make sure you're ready for the test by doing that. If you want to get some extra credit, do the practice workbook and you can get some extra credit. Again, also, it's a good chance that even if you're picking out some problems, even if you don't do all the problems, pick out some, check the answers in the back of the book, and then that's when you ask me questions. If you're not understanding something, you need to ask, okay? All right, so if you have any questions, let me know.